Welcome back, dear students. So after the practical applications of the auxins, one of the growth regulator found to have influence on the growth and development of the plant. Now in this lecture we are going to study the practical applications of cytokines. So cytokines, these are also the naturally occurring growth hormones that influence on the growth of the plant. So some of the practical applications we are going to discuss here in this lecture. So the first one, practical application in cell division. So this name of the growth hormone cytokinin is given by its main role in the cell division. It induces cytokinesis. So the name given to the phytohormone as cytokinase. So cytokinins are necessary along with the auxins for cell division and in vitro growth. So this word in vitro means the growth of the plant takes place under controlled conditions, environmentally controlled conditions on the artificial nutrient media. So in vitro growth that can take care of the plant in all respects for its growth and development. So cytokinins are necessary along with the auxins for cell division and in vitro growth. Cytokinins inhibit root growth as for culturing callus as well as stem elongation. So hence they are used in tissue culture. So auxins and cytokinins, that is the balanced combination of auxins and cytokinins, are used for cell division and in vitro growth. Next application, tissue differentiation. At low concentration of cytokinin, tissue remains as undifferentiated callus. In tissue culture, bud formation and shoot initiation depends on higher concentration of the cytokinins. When cytokinins and auxins are used in various ratios, they initiate lateral buds and shoots on the callus. So for the differentiation of the callus, for the induction of shoot and root to the callus, the various concentrations of cytokinins and auxins has been used in the callus culture. So when cytokinins and auxins are used in various ratios, they initiate buds and shoots on the callus. Cytokinins also regulate chloroplast formation. So this is the role of cytokinin in tissue differentiation. At low concentration of cytokinin, tissue remains as undifferentiated callus. So for shoot initiation, the higher concentration of the cytokinin has been used in the plant tissue culture media. Retardation of senescence. So as we know that the cytokinin regulate the chloroplast formation. So senescence is the one of the phenomenon that occur due to aging. The leaves become yellow in color. So it depends on the physiological age of the plant. So due to aging, the plant become yellow in color and rapid breakdown of proteins takes place. It is known as senescence. When leaves are treated with kinetin, they remain green for longer period. It has practical significance in maintaining fruits and vegetables fresh and green for longer period so that they reach the market in a good condition. So cytokinins regulate growth in plant by delaying senescence. So the fruits and vegetables are treated with the cytokinins like kinetin so that they remain fresh and green for a longer period of time so that they reach the market in a good condition. Next application, breaking dormancy. Dormancy is a temporary suspended period of the seed and the plant organ. So to break the dormancy, so during the dormancy period, the seeds are not able to germinate in spite of the favorable environmental conditions of germination. So to break the seed dormancy and the other plant organs dormancy, the cytokinins are useful. Dormancy of seeds of plants like tobacco, Lactuca sativa can be broken by treating them with kinetin. Seeds of striga can be induced to germinate in absence of frost by treating them with kinetic. So these taiga plants requires a chilling treatment for seed germination. So instead of this, these taiga seeds are treated with kinetin. So kinetin, one of the cytokinin, can be used for breaking seed and organ dormancy. Then apical dominance. So the apical dominance can be caused by the auxins, but here cytokinins, when applied on the lateral buds, they are able to release them from apical dominance. So this apical dominance that has been caused by the auxin, so the lateral buds are not able to spur out. It inhibits the branching and the initiation of the lateral buds. So when the cytokinins are applied on the lateral buds, they are released from the apical dominance caused by the auxins. So cytokinase counteracts on the effect of the auxins. Next is the mobility. Cytokinin affects mobility of organic substances. It is observed that amino acids, phosphates and various other organic substances get accumulated at the site of application of cytokinase. So these substances get accumulated because cytokinins affect mobility of organic substances. Next application, protein synthesis. When a plant part is treated with kinetin, there is increase in the protein content of the part due to increase in the rate of protein synthesis. So cytokinin accelerate or increases the process of protein synthesis. So when the kinetin has been used to treat the plant part, there is increase in the protein content of the part. Stomatal movement. When whole leaf is treated with cytokinin, there is increase in the size of stomatal aperture. So when the increase occur in the size of stomatal aperture, the rate of transpiration get increase. Cytokinins are also responsible for producing bisexual flowers on a male flowering plant. It is also reported that fruit set and fruit size in grape varieties and induction of parthenocarpy in fig is due to application of cytokinins. So cytokinin increases the size of stomatal apertures, thereby increases the rate of transpiration. Furthermore, the cytokinins are responsible for producing bisexual flowers on a male flowering plant. So these are the practical applications of cytokinins. The last one, morphogenesis. Cytokinin is very important in the formation of organs. For the differentiation of organ, for the initiation of the organs, the cytokinins has been used. So these are the practical applications of the cytokinins. Next is the practical applications of the gibberellins. So gibberellins are the third one, naturally occurring plant growth substances. The first application in seed germination. So gibberellins are useful for enhancing germination in case of seeds that require cold treatment or light. So photoperiodism and the vernalization are the two important physiological processes that are responsible for the initiation of flowering in the plant. Instead of this, the gibberellins are used for enhancing germination in case of seeds that require cold treatment or light. So cold treatment and light are required in some plant for breaking the seed dormancy. So gibberellins are used instead of this for enhancing seed germination. In case of cereal grains, starch and other food reserve present in the endosperm undergo conversion into simpler compounds due to enhanced activity of enzyme amylase by the action of gibberellin. Thus, germination percentage of the seed increases. So, how the gibberellins increases the seed germination percentage in the plant? So, what happened during seed germination? The reserve food material in endosperm is in the form of starch and other food reserves. So, during seed germination, such reserve food material has been broken down into the simpler compound by the activity of enzyme alpha amylase. And when the gibberellins are treated to the seeds, it enhances the activity of enzyme alpha amylase. So once the enzyme alpha amylase has been formed in the seeds, there is a rapid breakdown of the complex organic compounds into the simpler products. So by utilizing this, seed germination can be increased. Breaking dormancy and stimulating growth of dormant buds. Gibberellin solution of particular concentration is applied to dormant buds of evergreen deciduous trees. Buds will sprout. So for sprouting the bud, for breaking the dormancy and stimulating the growth of the dormant buds, the gibberellin solution of particular concentration is applied. Thus, gibberellic acid's application is able to overcome bud dormancy by acting as a substitute for low temperature, long day or red light. So low temperature, long day or red light, these are the some of the environmental conditions that are required for the sprouting of the dormant buds. So instead of this, gibberellic acid application is able to overcome the bud dormancy. It is act as a substitute. Next is the rooting. So as you know, the role of the auxin in the rooting, auxins initiate rooting in the plant. To the contrary, gibberellins inhibits root initiation, and the stimulation of rooting caused by auxins is also counteracted. So cuttings are not treated with the gibberellins because gibberellins inhibit root initiation, and when we treat the roots with the auxins and gibberellins, these gibberellins counteract the action of auxins. So cuttings are not treated with the gibberellins because it inhibits root initiation. Next, in stem elongation. So when gibberellins are applied to the plants, they induce elongation of stem tissues and results in producing tall plants. So tall plant production can be done by the application of the gibberellins. This is due to cell elongation caused by the gibberellins. So gibberellins also activate apical meristem. So there is an increase in the height of the plant, or plant becomes tall by the application of gibberellin, because gibberellin induce elongation of the cells in the stem. So that results into the increasing the height of the plant, or it produces tall plant. Next, in fruit setting and growth. Gibberellic acid is commonly used by farmers on seedless grape varieties to increase the size and quality of the fruit. So to increase the size and the quality, that is the color of the fruit, the gibberellic acid solution is commonly used by farmers on seedless grape varieties. So this is the regular practice done by the farmers who cultivate the seedless grape varieties. When gibberellic acid is used along with the auxin, it induces fruit set in case of deciduous trees such as apple, pear, citrus, etc. So for fruit setting, gibberellic acid solution has been used by the farmers on seedless grape varieties for increasing the fruit size and the quality of the fruit also. Next, in leaf expansion. So leaf expansion is required in case of leafy vegetables like cabbage, spinach, ट्रायगोनेला, बीटल वाइन, ट्रायगोनेला, मेथी, बीटल वाइन, खाण्याची पानं. So in case of leafy vegetables, gibberellic acid solution when spread on leaves causes increase in the leaf area. So it increases the productivity of the leafy vegetables like cabbage, spinach, trigonella and beetle vine. So this is the useful application of the gibberellin for increasing the leaf area, means increasing the leaf size, hence it enhances the productivity of the vegetables. Next, in flowering. Gibberellic acid treatment promotes flowering in long day plants under short day condition. So long day plants require relatively long period of light for induction of flowering. If such condition is not available, suppose the short day condition is available, but we require flowering in these plants. So for this, gibberellic acid treatment can be promote flowering in long day plants under short day conditions. Hence, fruits and flowers can be made available in months that are not the usual time for their availability. So off season production of the fruits and flowers can be done by the application of gibberellic acid. So it promotes the flowering. Next, in pollen germination, gibberellic acid treatment increases percentage of pollen grain germination and also accelerate the growth of the pollen tube. This results in increased chances of fertilization. So pollen grain germination and acceleration in the growth of the pollen tube can be done by the application of the gibberellic acid treatment. So this results in increased chances of fertilization. Next, parthenocarpy. When solution of gibberellic acid is applied with a brush to the ovary, it stimulates the growth of the ovary, it elongates the ovary and induces parthenocarpy in case of brinjal, guava and tomato. So parthenocarpy, it is the development of fruit without fertilization. So the solution of gibberellic acid is applied with a brush to the ovary, it stimulates the elongation and the growth of the ovary and induces parthenocarpy in brinjal, guava and tomato. In floriculture, gibberellins are used to induce flowering and also to increase size of flowers in plants such as Gerbera, roses, chrysanthemum. So in flowering plants like Gerbera, roses, chrysanthemum, gibberellins are used to induce flowering. It increases the size of flowers. So these are the practical applications of the gibberellins. So this is all for today. Thank you. Stay home. Be safe.